Greetings, I am Liz.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game
together.
Alright, so we are coming back to Meeting in the Flesh. We are finishing Brattan's route. If you haven't been here and you want to be here, welcome aboard. But if you want to catch up at some point, all of it is posted on our YouTube.
Yes!
There's links in our bio and stuff like that. But in the meantime, we're going to get right into this because we've got a whole another entire boys' route to do today.
We do. We have to get to Niarg.
We do. And so the plan is, to do it to our boy here and then Niarg.
But we are all curious.
Okay, so, a cold breeze cuts across the flesh fields, flattening tufts of hair and kicking around loose teeth. I scrunch up smaller against Brattan's side, and he pulls me closer until the wind subsides.
Hey, Vil.
Yeah?
Are you sure you want to do this?
I can't pretend I'm totally confident in the decision, so I have no immediate answer. But pressed close to Brattan like this, I can hear the beat of his heart thumping steadily against his ribcage. It's a calming rhythm, remaining consistent even as he waits for my answer. And I close my eyes. I feel like as long as I could hear this sound, I'll be able to handle most things. It's really scary going to this unknown place, to be honest. But I think it'll be worth it. I want to try new things. I want to see things I haven't seen before. And I think if I'm doing it with you, I won't feel so scared. So I'm sure I want to do this. Brattan doesn't respond, just holding me close. But the way his fingers curl around my shoulder says enough. There isn't much else to say. We sit quietly for a long time, watching the scenery of the flesh fields. A few clouds drift lazily overhead, but the skies are otherwise clear. The greenish glow of sunlight washes over the clumps of bone and teeth littering the fields, glistening off slices of fat visible past the topmost level of skin, and highlighting the movement of scurrying poor rats. It's peaceful out here, without the bustle of the city, and I feel a calm settling over my mind. It's only when Brattan gives me a jostle that I snap back to my thoughts.
It's here. The eclipse is coming.
Oh, we get to watch the eclipse again. Yay!
Yay!
He hands me his visor, pulling out a second one from his pouches. I love that he's prepared to protect his eyes for this.
Yes.
Yustel's like, I'm about to have new eyes anyway. Let's let him burn.
I did,
you know?
Right?
Which I actually didn't think about the first time, but like you don't either of you have protection when you see the eclipse with, Yustel. But then you both develop new eyes together, so that's kind of wild.
It's the last thing you truly see.
Before you have different eyes. All right.
Right.
He hands me his visor, pulling out a second one from his pouches. He's better prepared than I expected. Donning the visors, we look toward the sky and watch as the moon begins to encroach upon the sun's shape. The dark shadows begin to eat away at the sun's outline, first on one side, then also at the other. A strange quiet begins settling over the flesh fields, and when I look down, I can see several poor rats frozen in place. They are also staring upward. No doubt startled by the way the skies are suddenly starting to go dark. The way their noses twitch is kind of cute. And I smile as I also look back up.
Palm!
Greetings, Palm. Well, you didn't miss much. Welcome aboard.
Hello!
And we are watching the eclipse. All right.
Making sure, actually, since we didn't check and I forgot to, can you actually hear us?
Right. Is the sound good since you are
the
here?
Do, 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 do.
You are here. Do, 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 do.
Watashi ga kita!
I am hearing. They are hearing.
Yay!
Yes! Excellent.
Excellent.
All right.
So you really haven't missed anything. You should get.
We're still sitting on the tooth rock and cuddling with Brattan. We're just watching the eclipse again.
Yep, the eclipse just started.
The way their noses twitch is kind of cute. And I smile as I look back upwards. I wonder if Brattan and I also look so dumbfounded.
I do.
The rats. Though the view is slightly marred by stray clouds, it is impossible to miss the way the sun's light is starting to be carved away. It's so cool.
It's so neat.
There's a strange electricity in the air as the skies continue to darken. Next to me, I can hear Brattan's pulse quicken a touch, a deep breath echoing through his chest.
Oh no.
He also excited. He going, moon, moon, moon. His hand squeezes tighter at my shoulder for a moment as the moon continues to eat away at the sun's light. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, you have food and you are ready for the tea. Yes.
Yes.
Welcome aboard. Perfect.
Excellent.
All right. They move along their paths with no hesitation, steadily crawling forward, bit by bit. The flesh fields feel unnaturally quiet, as if even the breeze and the different animals have been arrested by this strange sight. Closing my eyes for a moment, I think I can hear the rush of my own blood in my veins. When I open them back up, it almost feels like night. Ooh. I love how it looks like an eye.
It really does.
Like it really just looks like a cat eye, like a really excited ooh.
Or it's an owl.
It could be an owl. I love it. It feels like one of those the eyeballs in one of the paintings by who's the one that does like the pandas and the kittens with the bubbles and stuff like that?
Oh lordy, I don't know.
On DeviantArt? Anyway,
yeah,
it's okay.
I think I know what you're talking about for sure. But yeah.
Anyway, those kind of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The skies are peppered with dark smudges of cloud, lit up only by a sliver of light that fights past the shadow of the moon. And even as we watch, the moon continues along its respective paths. Slowly consuming the sun's shape.
Probably should be the moons.
The moons, I think.
The moons continue along their respective paths. Yeah, because there are multiple moons. There are two of them.
I would say it's 2 moons and 3 suns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly consuming the sun's shape. Except for that should be the apostrophe after the S. Yeah, for multiple suns shape. That sickle-shaped slice of sunlight grows slimmer and slimmer, petering out to a bright glare at one corner. Looks like a really scary movie. Yes, I can see it.
I can.
Yes, it's The Ring. You get it.
Yes.
Yes.
I have never seen The Ring, nor have I actually seen a really scary movie because I am too easily afeared.
Yeah, I was just saying. The scary movies are not for me, though I actually have seen The Ring, and it was terrible, and I hated it. It was scary.
You're like, no, you're so just scared.
It was just scared. It did me the big frighten. I was scared for weeks after that movie.
God.
It was so bad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm okay now.
But that's also like for me too, like where I've been dragged into movies that I never wanted to watch, and I was just like, yep, here we are. I got to sit down through the entire Alien filmography thing, and it was terrible.
So my dad did that to me when I was a kid. And that was unfortunate.
That's
I was like, I couldn't jump on the trampoline at night for a while. I was scared. After a few moments, that, too, dims, as if fighting for its life. Time seems to stand still when it fades, leaving only a perfect circle of white stamped in the skies like a sigil. I find my breath coming short, hands gripping tight at Brattan's, and I give a small jump when Brattan whispers,
It's time. Let's do it.
Down the hole in the darkness.
Let's do it.
Now? My voice also comes out at a whisper. It feels oddly hard to speak, the air heavy and tense, like something monstrous is bearing down on us. The uncanny darkness makes the flesh fields feel all the more terrifying, but beautiful, and I shiver slightly as Brattan pulls away to slip off the tooth. His feet pad quietly against the ground, against the flesh. It's so quiet, I can hear the squelch of fat and fluids underfoot.
Yeah. No.
He looks so delighted. He holds his hand out for me to take, and I do so. There's a lot of hand-holding in this route.
There is so many.
So much hand-paw.
Many paws.
As I slip off the tooth, I look back up. The eclipse is still at its peak, sunlight reduced to a faint glimmer that barely lights our surroundings. We need to hurry. Foosh! The surface of the hole is almost black in the absence of sunlight. Our movement sends ripples dancing across its surface, needle-thin slivers of light sliding across that mirror slick before disappearing. The abyss feels all the more intimidating in the silent, oppressive atmosphere of the eclipse. A shiver of anticipation prickles down my spine, and I look up at Brattan, because he's very tall.
He's very quite tall.
He's staring intensely at the hole.
No, you're okay. No, you haven't missed it. We just got to to the hole.
Yep, we're in mid-eclipse.
Yes.
And we are standing at the edge of the hole, so you haven't missed the important part.
Yes.
But we're going to jump in the dark at the height of all of
But
this.
welcome, Drakanishi. You are quite welcome. Quite.
Yes.
So do not feel bad. It's okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. A shiver of anticipation prickles down my spine, and I look up to Brattan. He's staring intensely at the hole. Yay.
Ready?
His words are exhaled breathily, barely above a whisper. Though my thoughts instantly flash to everything I'll be leaving behind.
By entering
this hole. My home, the boss, all my clients, my familiar surroundings, and everything else I've ever known. I don't give it a second thought before nodding. It is the time for change. We do the big cultural change.
We do the big old change.
Ready. Already, the eclipse's apex has passed. A glimmer of light glares across the whole surface as the sun begins to emerge from behind the moon shadow, and Brattan grabs me up in his arms. His grip is tight, but surprisingly tender, holding me close to his chest without suffocating me. The warmth of his fur surrounds me like a heavy blanket, with only a small touch of cold when his nose brushes against my ear. That's adorable.
Let's go.
I barely have the chance to close my eyes and nod in response to those low words before Brattan throws himself and me in his arms into the hole.
Into the hole!
Out we go down the hole. There's barely a splash.
There is a tiny...
There's a fleshy noise.
I know.
A fleshy noise happens.
Ooh.
The substance in the hole accepts us with no resistance at all. The surface of the pool closing up over our heads in near silence. Then it drags us in deeper and deeper. There's a strange suction clawing us deeper into the hole's belly. A force heavier than gravity that drags us relentlessly downward.
Here we go.
Yes! Into the hole!
Attack! Into the hole, number one.
Hi. Though I'd reflexively held my breath, it isn't long before my lungs feel tight. And when I finally open my mouth in deep gasp, the surrounding fluid pours into me, instantly replacing the remaining air in my lungs. There's no feeling of panic, no sensation of drowning, just the sense of something drastically different, surging through my airway and filling my chest. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see is a blurry shadow at the edge of my vision, slowly melting away. It takes me a moment to realize that it's Brattan's massive shoulder, his arms still wrapped around me. His fur is falling away in wisps. I clutch tighter at him. Brattan similarly pulls me closer, his own grip unwavering.
Whoa.
I don't understand what is happening, but I'm not scared. The substance in the abyss has shaped itself around us, holding us, pulling us deeper in, but it seems to grow heavier the next moment. A pressure bears down on us from all sides. It's hot and heavy, but not cruel or painful, just like a pair of hands cupping around us and gently squeezing. My friend, squeeze.
Squeeze. A baby squeeze.
I bury my face into the crook of Brattan's shoulder, feeling another wisp of fur brush past my cheek, then flow away upwards. Is something also happening to me? I can't tell. Our surroundings keep growing hotter and denser, a strange pressure prickling at my skin and gently bearing down on my eyes until I'm forced to close them again. It's dark. My breath feels shorter. The pressure of Brattan's arms around me is the only thing that doesn't change. I hold him tighter too, and I don't let go, even as my thoughts start to scatter.
Oh.
Pap!
Oh.
De smack.
Pap.
I'm jolted back to awareness by the feeling of landing heavily on a hard, cold surface. The impact is accompanied by the hot sting of the rough surface, scraping against my skin. I gasp for air, coughing up gluts of the substance from the abyss. It pours from my mouth, leaving strings of hot saliva stringing from my jaw, and each breath of air I gulp down feels too crisp against my tongue. My mouth feels sensitive and empty, like my teeth have shrunk. Not just my teeth. My body as a whole feels oddly dense, like my skin's tightened too much and shrunk down my frame, compacting my limbs down to half their normal length. I finally managed to crack my eyes open a touch. My eyelids feel heavy. It's a struggle to process what I'm seeing. Oh no!
Whoa!
Is it Earth? Barren streets stretch before me, flanked on either side by buildings completely devoid of life. Their surfaces sport only cold rock and glass, lacking any veins of flesh or stretches of skin, though a few colorful signs break the monotonous stretch of gray, and I can see the movement of a few people far in the distance. It's an otherwise cold and unwelcoming landscape.
Whoa.
I rub at my eyes to make sure I'm not seeing wrong.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, we gotta look at this. It looks
Gotta-
like a hide text. Hawkins, off license. That looks almost like a Quiznos.
They stopped in front of the Quiznos. They're gonna get a sandwich.
I think it's closed. They don't have to wait for a sandwich.
We're gonna get some food.
I rub my eyes.
Oh.
There we go. I'm not.
I'm not. You're not seeing.
I'm not seeing things. I'm not.
Off-license Hawkins?
Oh, it just says
Quill.
Q-W-I-L. I don't know. Interesting.
Wild. Okay.
Then I realize my hand, too, has changed. It's shrunk. They're right. So the creator said that chronologically, doing these three, basically routes in order is one of the best ways to understand and enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
If we hadn't ever seen ourselves, this would be less meaningful.
Yeah.
So it's important to do Yeastles first.
Yeah, it kind of is.
My claws are gone, leaving only thin, flimsy nails in their place, and my fingers feel much smaller, weaker. I won't be able to run like I usually do, with my grip weakened like this. Maybe I've changed, just like Brattan lost his fur while we were sinking through the hole. Brattan. Alarmed, I look around for Brattan. He's nowhere to be seen. But I do quickly realize there's another person lying beside me.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. It's only his bulk that suggests it might be Brattan. Everything else about him is foreign. There's no blanket of fur to hide the stretch of long, muscular limbs, and the sight of so much bare, hairless skin is a little unnerving. The only hair I can spot is on top of his head, short and bristly, but it's the same shade that Brattan's fur was. I bet if you're in the R-rated version, it also says one more location.
I imagine. Oh, we did forget to mention that we went back and looked at the adult stuff, didn't we?
Oh, that's okay. I was going to do that in the wrap.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Brattan? I take his shoulder and shake gently. The skin is warm beneath my fingers, but feels discomfortingly smooth and featureless. I shake again, a little harder. My arm feels so weak. It takes a lot of effort just to jostle this other person. Brattan?
Vil?
The voice that slips out from this other person is both familiar and unfamiliar. Though it lacks the deep rumble of Brattan's signature growl, the way he says my name is immediately recognizable, and I breathe a sigh of relief as the person continues, sounding groggy.
What happened to you?
I think we changed. The person, Brattan, I'm sure it's Brattan now, sits up. He's lost a lot of bulk. Even without his fur, he wouldn't have been this small. He shrunk, like I have. My hand slips from his shoulder down the length of his arm to touch at his hand. His paw pads and claws have vanished, leaving behind tender hands that look a lot like mine, just slightly larger. Flimsy nails, soft skin, fleshy fingers. My fingertips feel far more sensitive as I touch his knuckles.
I wonder if this was basically like the reaction that people had to Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast turned into a man, because apparently a lot of people complained, going, I wasn't interested in the prince once he stopped being a monster.
Which is really, really shallow and really funny, given the moral of the story.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't care about
You
what people
shouldn't
look.
judge bad appearances, and
Or
everybody's judging
that-
an appearance.
And going, but he's not as good. My God, he's the same person. He'll still throw tantrums. It's fine.
You'll be okay. He will throw tantrums, which
And
is...
snowballs.
And snowballs.
It's fine.
Break your whole head.
Alright, so sensitive hands, you bet.
Uh-huh.
And them going, I don't. But also, like, you'd be so unused to seeing this kind of thing.
Oh, God,
like,
yeah.
if they are just people.
Uh-huh.
This is the different world. Oh.
Brattan looks around. I feel odd seeing... It feels odd seeing him with such a plain, flat face. But there's traces of his usual self in the way he smiles at me. His teeth have mostly been flattened down, but at least 2 remain fairly sharp, keeping that look, the look, a little familiar. Beast looked better than the prince.
It's okay. You don't have to. I just always found it to be kind of unusual. I never cared that much as a kid because I was like, it's still him, so...
Yeah, and the thing is it's like, if you like the person, it really shouldn't matter that much. No, there can certainly be aesthetic appreciation of the way someone looks. And yeah, if they drastically change their appearance, it can be a thing to adjust to.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't mean you don't like them or don't find them desirable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But yeah, there's so many people that are like, Beast! And it's like, that's the Beast.
Uh-huh.
He's that prince.
He's still
No,
the
no, but Fluff!
No, but...
Feels weird, doesn't it?
Him trying to talk around his short face. Tries to loll his tongue out. He's like, trying to use a person face to make good werewolf expressions. Turns into TikTok face. It really does.
We might be naked. That might be why nobody's there.
I
actually
believe we are completely naked. I don't know. So he wasn't wearing anything before, and then we took off our scarf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or did we?
I think we did. We put all of our stuff down.
Right, all of our stuff down. So yeah, we should totally be naked.
Yeah.
I don't really think like the prince as a person.
But I do think he's more handsome as a beast. And that's totally fine.
The thing is like, if you watch the cartoon of Beauty and the Beast and like you didn't find the character particularly desirable, then it doesn't really matter either way.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Anyway.
Yeah.
As the shock of our changed appearances settles in, we begin to realize just how different everything feels. The air feels sharper and crisper. The familiar, ever-present scent of flesh and blood had been replaced by a strange metallic tang, undercut by a current of smoke. When I struggle upright, I'm sharply aware of how gritty the ground feels beneath my new, soft feet.
Oh, no!
The delicate footies! Can you imagine how badass these guys were? Like his 2 companions, they get sucked through here. They see a rope hanging in the literal sky, right?
Right.
And they're like, I will grab a thing and find a way to write on it, even if I have to scrawl in my own blood, kind of thing, and send a note back to you so you know what happened.
Right.
Like, this is the elite SALT task force, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Brattan also stands, then shivers.
It's cold. You always felt this cold?
You who never had fur? It must be a shock to suddenly be without fur. Thankfully, I still have my cloak.
Oh, no.
Okay, I was going to
Still
say,
have
I didn't think we got naked for this, and we just put all of our stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, did our cloak change? Because all the objects did, so it's probably more like a person cloak.
Right.
And we share it. The fabric is just enough to keep us warm and covered as we find shelter in what looks like a quiet alleyway, leaning against a wire fence and flanked on either side by cold, dry walls. We rest against each other. Though our new skins are strangely lacking in texture, they're highly pleasant to touch against each other, and we keep warm by staying huddled together under the cloak.
Going
So much sensation. Woo! You feel so soft, but also feel so soft.
I get a book.
Ooh. Both of us, ooh face. Ooh.
Pretend.
I should probably.
What?
Whoa.
Hi.
I should probably be more scared. But I think as long as Brattan is here, we'll manage somehow.
Somehow. Oh.
We end up resting here until the sun starts to come up. The sun here turns out to be orangish. It's slightly alarming at first to see our surroundings start to light up with an odd, yellowish hue, but we soon accept it for what it is. At least the warmth of it permeates through the fabric of my cloak, slowly easing our chills and rousing us properly.
Yes, exactly.
What's this?
Yes.
Why?
What?
Also going, I have bits hanging out that have never hung out before.
What are the bits that hang?
What bits?
That would be so distracting.
That'd be so
Oh my
disorienting. I try to walk. I hang on.
I do that.
Hold on.
Excuse me.
I feel like I need to. I'm gonna be such a big fan of underwear. Yes.
Only the tightest best of pets.
Most supportive.
Most supportive. It would happen.
The streets also start to come alive with the break of dawn.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly. Oh no, we were totally talking about junk. Like,
Oh yeah,
but
no,
absolutely.
There was that, and just the it's so much feely feels. Ooh, just petting each other quietly. Ooh.
And then they're just like, I pet all the things. I think pet. Ooh.
The streets also start to come alive with the break of dawn. People begin to move about, and we watch as they traipse past the entrance of our little alleyway. Traipsing. Ah, okay. I'm just poking. Oh my god. Hi, where's your tail? Oink.
Going, you need a tail.
You have no wags. I'm so sad for the loss of the wags. Him, I make a happy face and distress because the wagging can't happen. Phantom limb
even if
wagging.
you actually think about it, the rat based on the rat based on the woo copy pasta?
Oh my god, I have no idea. It sounds fascinating.
It sounds hilarious.
All right, alleyway. They all look eerily similar. Like, oh my god, we're gonna have like facial blindness, like basically like racial blindness for so long. You all look the same. It's gonna be like trying to tell penguins apart. There seems to be a norm. Just 2 legs, upright, hairless except on the top of the head, with only 2 eyes, a small nose and mouth, and there are practically no deviations from that template. Save some difference in hair length and skin tone, everyone is alike, and we are like them. Brattan mourns the loss of his beautiful teeth. I'm a little sad to lose my speedy legs, but we'll just have to adapt. It's a little after the sun's risen, and the entire city is lit up that a door near us suddenly opens up. It's made of metal, with not a single trace of organic life, and we stare warily at a person as a person emerges from it. They're dressed curiously, in close-fitting clothes that have been dyed bright colors. The person also seems startled to spot us. It's hard reading their expression, but the wide eyes and slightly parted mouth suggest surprise and hesitation before they speak.
You're not supposed to be here.
Sorry. I apologize, but I'm not sure what else to say, and I hesitate over my words. The stranger looks us over carefully.
Are you okay? Why are you guys naked?
We had an ordeal.
Hi.
As Brattan and I look uneasily at each other, the stranger sighs, then glances down the alleyway. He seems satisfied after a few moments, then beckons us toward the door.
Come on. The manager isn't in yet. I'll call someone to pick you guys up if this was a prank or something.
That's very understanding. Going, did you guys just get like drunk and get ditched here in the nude, you poor things?
I'm so sorry. Like, dang.
The person introduces himself as Dylan, as he ushers us indoors. Then he asks us for a phone number, which we don't have, of course.
Oh no, I know that.
Okay,
What do you
that
think
was
I
the
was trying to find?
All right.
You're like, no, and I'm like,
After
I know
some
what I'm looking for.
hesitation, Brattan explains the situation. We needed to mute an alert.
Except I don't think I can. Going to dismiss it for right now.
That should work.
Okay.
Explains the situation. We're not sure of where we are, he says. We're lost. We don't have any clothes or money, and we also have no memory of who we are, except our names. The last bit is a lie, but no doubt it will go over better than saying we've come from a different world. One that looks completely different.
Drugs!
From this alien landscape. Brattan continues that we're sorry to bother him, but we aren't looking for trouble. We're not sure of exactly what to do. We just want to survive. Dylan rightfully gives us a long, suspicious look, but he also doesn't immediately question us or ask us to leave. He seems to deliberate for a long moment before giving a heavy sigh.
Alright, you guys don't seem like you're high or whatever. So I'm gonna have you wash dishes. Alright?
It takes us a few moments to understand what he means. It turns out the establishment is some sort of eatery, despite the lack of salt or honey. Dylan says he'll buy us some clothes and feed us so long as we repay the debt by helping him for the day. Otherwise, he says, I'm just going to have the cops deal with you. His generosity shocks us both. Brattan lunges across the table and gives him a huge hug. Giant naked man hugs you.
I love you, punk!
Which startles him. I opt for nodding enthusiastically and thanking him for his kindness and promising that we'll both do our best. Dylan has us wait in the alleyway while he goes to purchase us some clothes, then returns and gives us each a bagel sandwich. The texture of it is odd, crunchy on the outside, but strangely pillowy inside, with a layer of soft, squishy substance between the outer shells. It's a mix of flavors that neither of us are familiar with, rich and almost cloying, with only faintest familiar sting of salt. You want to be that person?
You want to be
Oh my
that
god, right? I mean, like,
Right.
I just found two
Honestly, that would be
complete...
funny as hell if that was Dylan from my Instinct Dragon.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Like,
Him,
I'm sorry.
you know, I had to occupy my time at some point, you know, while I was waiting to get, you know, for like Small to finish her job and stuff like that. And I can't just sit in my giant beautiful mansion all day. It's boring.
No, Dylan, not
Oh no,
Rye.
not right. Sorry, Dylan. Sorry, my bad.
No,
I was like,
Dylan.
Dylan. I was just like, that would
Him
be
and his
hilarious.
10 belts. Yes,
There
and
is
also
10
going,
belts.
I am pretending to do the person thing. You are clearly not full of shit. I will just say that you are. What is the
Also,
word? Hi.
both of you are naked, so can we just get you
Yes!
dressed immediately? Because holy shit.
No.
No.
The answer is no.
Immediately starts throwing towels at you.
No. All the belts.
Him, aprons and belts make clothing real fast.
I've got it.
Perfect.
Excellent. Before Phoenix shows up.
Done. So good. Well
Excellent.
done. I love that reference.
Honestly, that's so good.
And if for anyone watching this later, just go check out my Mystic Dragons. You'll be set. Okay.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It's good. And Dylan kindly gave it to us, despite us being strangers. As frightening as it is ending up in this barren, lifeless landscape, we might be able to manage it if people are still kind. Pardon. Of course, not everything works out so smoothly. We quickly learned that Dylan's kindness was unusual, and that we were fortunate to encounter him first upon arriving in this strange world.
That is because I come from elsewhere, but not that I would tell you that.
Yes, it's because he also is a foreigner going, you look like such a mess. Please, fix the nudity now.
I know. The nudes need to stop.
Yes, immediately. Whew. Without experience living in this strange world, and without an identity, Brattan and I have to learn to adapt. We quickly learn to make up lies about our lives. We work menial jobs where the work is hard and the pay is barely adequate. I work as a dishwasher at a diner, and Brattan works for a landscaping company, going whatever that is, cutting plants. Finding shelter is also difficult without money and without identities, and it's only thanks to the help of other people that we manage to survive. We sleep outside during warm nights and find shelter in a place called a church on rainy nights. The rain here is cold and water instead of blood, so we're grateful for shelter from the needling spray of water. Holy cow. Dylan, yes. Send me the nudes. That's great.
Yes.
Some people are cruel to us, but others are kind. Also, Brattan is an intimidating, 6'6" muscle boy. So they're like, you can totally have any job you want. Lift heavy shit, okay?
You got it.
Life is hard here, but not unbearable. Especially because we have each other. Oh, look at that! We take comfort in each other's company more than anything. I doubt either of us could have survived without the other.
Hang on. I'm gonna see the thingy.
That's very cute.
Aww.
He's so squishy and soft.
He's a big. Look at the floof.
The
floof.
The fluffy. The floofs.
I really am, honestly, because of this patch, particularly always reminded of Beauty and the Beast, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It just makes me think of a sun bear.
Oh, I can totally see that, too. Yeah, absolutely.
I doubt either of us could survive without the other. No matter how exhausted we are in the evenings. No,
in the evenings.
I think they were going to go a different direction with the sentence,
Yeah.
and they just dropped it. In the evenings. Brattan is quick to smile and point out the things that went well that day. He talks about a new friend he made, or a friendly client who gave him water, or a small animal he got to share his food with. He's like, dogs. There are these things called dogs. Do you know what dogs are? They're amazing.
Yes.
Yes, serotonin. Good pick. Yes,
Yeah,
excellent.
Yes.
A small animal. He's like, this is a dog. When we have a building to live in, we will have many of these.
We will. It'll be great.
It'll be so good. I understand their tails so well. Let's see. Let's see. A small animal. He points to the strange glowing bugs that light up the park when we're huddled together on a bench at night.
Okay, so y'all know which always makes me, I know, we're the humans.
I want to see them as human as well. I don't know if they did design them as humans.
I don't think they did. But the thing for me, at least, is like, there can only be a few locations this can be because
Fireflies are limited.
/ lightning bugs / whatever you want to call them, you know, glowy bugs, they do not exist all over the world. So you've immediately got some solid limitations here.
I know. We could figure out where they were. It's fine.
I know.
It's good. All right. Let's see. Light up the park when we're huddled together on a bench at night. He wraps his arms tight around me and says he's happy to have me at his side in this strange place. I wonder if it'd be possible to identify basically the other two by either the way they move or anything like that.
Right.
Being like, you know, because you recognize people's mannerisms and stuff or the way they speak sometimes, and him being like, hold on, you're my goddamn coworker. Yeah! Boof!
Right.
I always squeeze his hand when he says it and tell him I'm happy to be at his side too. Everything in this world is strange and foreign, but as long as we have each other, we can survive. Oh, there it is. Look at that! And they did draw them. And look at that, because we also have the thing on our face. We still have the anomaly.
Yeah.
Look at his hair. He's ridiculous.
I love the fact. Okay,
What?
Yes. I'm actually kind of confused because I would have expected him to be hairy.
Oh?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is...
I mean, the Bishonen look is sort of hysterical.
If we've moved to anime world instead of, like, human world, then he can't have hair. Because no one has hair.
Yeah, see, Dragonishi, yeah. Actually, that I was not expecting.
Yes. I say, on the other hand, like, the jawline is
That's
there.
pretty.
I mean, say,
it's kind of there.
No, like, it's dissolving into the hair, but it's pretty strong if he turns sideways. It's just the rest of his features aren't that strong.
Yeah, which is strange to me. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like, oh, that's solidly unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, though, we're adorable.
We are very cute.
We are so cute. I just love this idea that they kept, again, the anomaly that we had. Mm-hmm. And it's not like, oh, yes, you know, the perfect of the humans. But yeah, I'm thinking they now move to anime world.
We might be.
I thought he'd be more JoJo muscular.
Right.
Me too, honestly.
12.
I was expecting all the bara.
Yeah, me as well.
All right. Even if our bodies are different, and it takes us a while to fully accept that these are now our forms, it's strange at first, exploring our bodies and realizing how different we are now. Our skin feels restricted at first, too tight around these bodies that are a little too small. Brattan complains of feeling barren and bald, with fur only at the top of his head, while I feel strangely stuffy, covered in this elastic layer dotted with hair. I'm accustomed to the chill of the air against the raw patches on my face. Several mornings I wake up feeling like I've had fabric plastered to my face. It always takes me a few moments of pawing at my face to remember that this is now my body. And the body hair,
yes.
Yeah, I feel it, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The extremities of these forms are also far weaker than we're accustomed to. In private, Brattan and I make fun of our small hands and stubby feet.
Yes.
Sitting around going,
No, they would be those obnoxious people who go buy the little doll hands and stick them on their fingers.
They'd
and
be
go,
like, this is what these people are like. They have little tiny hands. They were sitting there with Trump hands.
That'd be like perfect.
Perfect. They're like, this is it. Yes.
This is us.
And going and, you know, basically just being like, you know, are there small teeth to go with the small hands? Looking around. In private, Brattan and I make fun of our small hands and stubby feet. The lack of claws allows for little traction, and the soft skin of our palms and feet is vulnerable to scratches and friction. These people all wear things to cover their feet. It's strange.
It's wild.
We have to learn to care for these tender forms, staying vigilant, even about small injuries, and patching them up frequently. Vil being like, I'm not used to dealing with anything. It's just there, part of the flesh. We fine. Both Brattan and I are used to physical activity, so we're not used to struggling with anything physical. For the first time in our lives, we find ourselves struggling to move our bodies in the ways we want. I think it's we want.
It's we want, not we want.
He want.
In the ways
he want us to move this way.
I did. He would give Brattan.
But these bodies aren't entirely awful. We eventually find out.
We figured out the bone.
We have figured out the woo-woo.
Oh, look, the woo.
The first time Brattan runs his hand down my back, I feel a shiver ripple through my nerves. He buries his face into the curve between my neck and shoulder, each hot breath glossing warm against my skin. And it's then that I realize this skin, while somewhat stifling, we're having sensory overload constantly, is also warm and sensitive in a way I've never felt before. My fingertips, especially, are highly sensitive to the texture of Brattan's skin, dipping past little scars and pockmarks, running over the bumps of veins. I let my hand wander over Brattan's chest, marveling at the way I can feel his pulse so clearly, without the heavy padding of fur. My fingertips graze up to his shoulder, then down the length of his arm, and when I entwine my fingers with his, I can feel every shift of tendon beneath the thin skin, there as he squeezes my hand back. And without words, we begin exploring each other's bodies. It's only natural. As the immediate worry of survival starts to abate, we find ourselves increasingly curious about the world and bodies we now live in. Once you get the basics covered and you stop panicking about food and shelter every day, you get to do all kinds of things.
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And learning more about each other in this way turns out to be very pleasant. Yes, a good time. Our fingers are the first step. Devoid of any real claws and covered in the most sensitive skin, we take our time running them over each other's bodies. Brattan's nails scrape gently over my shoulder as he eases aside the neck of my shirt. Then come lips, the only parts of our bodies anywhere near as sensitive as our fingertips.
I
Really?
I disagree.
You're probably missing one thing.
It's okay.
There's nothing like the lips either.
They're nothing.
They're nothing like the lips either of us had in our previous bodies. Pink and soft and warm, covering only a blunt line of teeth. They're sensitive without being raw, easily molding together when we kiss. We saw people doing this. We assumed it was a cultural thing.
It was wild.
Still like him, but he was adorable. He is also not saying that it is bad to think that, because he also liked the way he looked. Yes, does not mean you don't like him, just means you also appreciate the way he looked before. A plus.
Yes. I mean, and honestly, particularly with okay, so it's one of those things that I love pointing out, going clearly this is a fantasy. If this was a real life thing, then yeah, we'd have basically way more moral up in arms, what the hell are you doing? People changing drastically, you should be more accepting, blah, blah. It would make sense. But in regards to a fantasy,
on the other hand,
it's fine.
also they didn't choose this experience at all. The Beast knew what he looked like before, theoretically, even if he was much younger when he first changed, right? And these individuals had no idea what they would look like. So a level of going, yeah, I might prefer the way I looked before too. Yeah. On the other hand, it doesn't mean you can't accept this, or sort of going, there's good things about both, you know?
Yeah. No,
anyway.
I totally see it.
Kissing was something we might have found difficult in the past, between Brattan's prominent fangs and the raw skin on my face. But in these bodies, it comes naturally to both of us. Our first kiss is short and clumsy. We're so unused to this wet, intimate warmth of the gesture. Then we immediately do it again. Hi, that was awkward. Do it again.
Again. Ow, you bit me.
And again. Oh, that's adorable.
Oh.
They cuddle.
Okay. I mean, hang on. We're hiding. Whoops. Excuse me.
It's okay. And you have freckles too.
You do have freckles.
And he does have all his scars. Everything translates from his, incredibly chaotic life. That's very cute.
That's very cute. I appreciate the fact that we're trying to do more sort of semi-androgynous to you can't really specifically go body characteristics.
Vil is unbodied in any specific way, and even Vil is even referred to as they by the creator. Which I think is kind of great. Where either they or you can choose as you like.
Though I will say that I always find it interesting when people go, here's your bodiedness. And then, clearly the non-bodiedness is to typically be more, skinny and attractive.
Well, I think a lot of people think that it becomes more obvious what you, or apparent what you, quote, have, if you get more weight on, more padding. Because of dimorphism, Yeah. But the thing is those, expression patterns of either, fat or padding aren't actually unique or universal to any genetic expression,
Yeah. Well, and that's also one thing that I find to be really frustrating, though, too, where you're just kind of you can't just go, it doesn't matter.
I'm still just
imagining. People are so preoccupied with it, it's
Yeah, that Brattan would be just super freaking excited. Anime protagonist
thing.
It could be, really. Honestly, yeah, fair. I would say there's that as well. I would say, but I think it also allows people to believe that, then there wouldn't be breasts, or that then you can say, small if you prefer to imagine them there, and not if not, so you can interpret either way.
Right.
I think it's so you can hide the chest in a hoodie. Everybody, hoodie is androgyny.
Aye, everybody. Wow.
My gender is hoodie.
Aye.
All right. Even in this current form, Brattan is strong. I hear the sudden ripping of fabric when he immediately tries impatiently tries to tug aside the folds of my shirt. More touching! Then feel the fabric go limp against my body as Brattan gives a frustrated huff. His breath grazes warm against my cheek, and I laugh. It's okay. Him, clothes though. I've never worn them ever.
I hate this shit.
We're not in a rush. He calms down a little as we undress, but I can tell he's still feeling impatient. As soon as I set aside my now ragged shirt, he nuzzles into the crook of my shoulder, lips pressing little spots of heat into my skin. I feel the graze of teeth and flinch for a moment, instinctively steeling myself for the sharp poke of fangs, but only feeling a light pressure. Trying to make sure, I'm like, this is on the PG-13 setting, right?
I think it is.
Brattan must have felt that flinch, because he pulls his head back to look at me. The knit of his brows suggests worry.
Did that hurt?
No, it's all right.
I guess it must have hurt before. It might have hurt before when I still had my old teeth.
Tough fun and games till you realize that you are flat. Honestly,
I
have to say, as someone who has much of my life been flat, it's really convenient. Like, it's just convenient. I don't even care about aesthetics. I don't even know, like, the sort of thing of me going, I just, flat is convenient.
Honestly, as somebody who's had a lot of attention paid to in regards to my chest, and I hate the crap out of it, it's like, it's actually mostly just frustrating, in my opinion. So
there are cute shirts you can't wear in the way they're designed, but like you know what I've always done? I've just gotten like a serious push-up bra and stuffed the hell out of it if I wanted to wear a shirt. You just fake it, it's fine.
Oh yeah, but I mean, in my case too, it was also like you were literally just limited, and everybody loves to make everything about your chest, and you're kind of like, I can't literally fucking sit in place.
Excuse me. Right. Yeah, but it feels nice now. A lot of things feel nice now. Like the expanse of his skin, dusky, from long hours spent out in the sun, speckled with scrapes and pockmarks and scratches, but warm and textured to the touch.
I didn't. I have never experienced that kind of dysphoria necessarily. I guess maybe for me, like, I've never connected to it.
Everybody, flat, woo! Yes, I say there is a lot of, like, I'm familiar with people thinking, you're not feminine enough if you don't have, a chest, or some people complaining about it, but on the other hand, like, it's never been an important feature to me.
Yeah.
So, thankfully, that.
The thing is for me, even growing up, I was like, it doesn't feel like it's feminine. It just feels like an objectifying thing. It doesn't feel like, I'm coming into my own. It feels like, here's another way for you to look at me like I'm a piece of meat.
I am the most object.
Thank you.
All right. So, anyway, what is it? Like, function over form.
Right.
All right. Let's see, warm and texture to the touch. Like the gentle feel of his arms hefting me up into his lap. Somehow more controlled than the strength he'd had in his original body. I'm just excited about everything. His hands molding against each dip and curve of my body. As
feels me.
as he feels me from shoulder to hips to thighs. Like the way his muscles tense and shift visibly with each movement. No longer masked by the thick layering of fur as he shifts his body to fit perfectly against mine. I decide to kiss him, keeping our lips pressed together until my lungs feel a little tight and hot and heavy, and when I finally pull back, Brattan seems to automatically squirm in excitement. He's never been one to feel bashful, but he seems to falter a little at this moment.
Okay, I really hope that the basically more adult version of this doesn't immediately descend into sex, because if I have one particularly strong critique of writers writing people having sex, air quote, for the first time, to me it sounds way too directed, and like people who already know what they want out of sex or what sex is, or what sex is supposed to, air quote, be, because I get annoyed because everybody goes, the real sex is this particular kind of sex.
We've talked about it in a few of these different things with people, like in reference especially to like romance and like, you know, bodice rippers or like, you know, adult, you know, fiction kind of thing, that basically everyone goes, and then when you decide to do the physical intimacy, it is one thing.
Yeah, and
just one.
And
thing.
that it always must be some act of penetration, regardless of whatever
Yeah.
anatomy is involved. Like, that has to happen. And I'm like, it bugs the hell out of me. I'm
Because,
like,
you know, just enjoy. I don't know. I'm very much just for like a lot of affection.
I was like, sensation is nice. You don't have to. Like, I'm like, it doesn't take that much effort. Like, goddamn. Also, I am very sorry, Palm. I'm also just like, you'd be like,
People whining at you. I can't tell what gender you are. And going, oh, excuse me. Would you like to like have it printed on my shirt?
right? And
Like,
I don't have a gender.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Gen X. I don't have a gender.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm
let's
Gen
see.
Z. I don't have a gender.
Let's see. Bashville, but he seems to falter a little at this moment. His cheeks flush bright and hot. There's a speckling of sweat on his brow, plastering a stray strand of hair to his forehead, and I laugh as I brush it aside. Brattan's so confident that he looks especially cute when he's flustered.
Him.
I guess it's a little weird that the first time we do anything like this, it's in these strange bodies.
Just a little, yeah.
He's like, wow, it's a little different than what I am used to at all. I talk quietly, keeping my words low, like they're a secret just between the two of us, kept away from the distant bustle of the city, past the windows. With my forehead pressed against his, a subtle heat is trapped between us, lovely and warm against our skins. As I pulled closer against him, we're dropping words everywhere, bro. It's okay.
It's okay.
It feels a little foreign at first, like everything is. But we've always adapted well. Now is no different. I let one hand drag down his chest, feeling the beat of his heart and the rise and fall with each breath he takes. My other hand explores the shape of his body, fingers brushing lightly against hot skin. Careful, but curious. At their very cores, these bodies are similar enough to our old forms that we know what to do. But the subtle differences are just enough that we're constantly making new discoveries.
Okay, so
just picturing it. That's adorable.
yes,
Yes, I was guessing you were. It was a guess.
it was a guess. Yeah. Seems accurate.
Like the fact that we can't rush into things. Our first attempt to be together is awkward and a little painful for me. Yep, they make assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Brattan is nothing but apologies when I let out a yelp, looking terribly alarmed as he lays me back down on the couch. I laugh as I brush a hand against his cheek, telling him it doesn't hurt that badly. I just need a small break. Like, whoa. He spends the entire time running his fingers through my hair, periodically kissing my temple, and his face lights up when I tell him I'm ready to try again. A level of, hey, you know what? If this body is resistant to me, you know what? It will. It will not be. I'll figure it out.
We'll get it to work.
Mm-hmm. Things go much more smoothly when we take our time. Good advice in so many things. Like just, yes.
It's the finger
Oh,
roll.
that is a good question, actually.
Yeah, I was actually there. Okay, so I was gonna say the finger roll, right? So you hold up, you guys. You go for 3 fingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Preparation, which includes lubrication. I can't. Shit, I just completely blanked.
We
lost myself.
can't do this in too much detail according to Twitch, so we
I
really
know, we
can't
get in
have this
trouble.
conversation here. I was gonna say,
I really hope they are though too. Honestly, there is a
or that they are aware of other things that can assist.
But that's
you know?
also like why I'm kind of a little bit frustrated. Like I appreciate the nod of going. We know what it would be like if we were in our old bodies, right? Which
And so
I
we're
appreciate.
going for that.
We're going. Oh, we have knowledge of that. I'm like, okay, cool. So you guys have had your version of sex before and other encounters, but that also means you don't have to have that kind of sex.
Yes.
By the way, but my level of frustration that I have over and over again is just like a very heavy preoccupation with basically just penetrative sex, and it bugs me.
It's true. All right. Things go much more smoothly when we take our time. Brattan breathes glowing words of encouragement as he gently eases me into the moment, his hands pressing into my skin, excited but not impatient. I feel like his pulse is throbbing through his skin, saturating me more with every moment. Even so, I want to be closer to him. Sitting over his lap with my hands against his shoulders, I touch his jaw to get him to look up, and when he does, I kiss him. It proves to be a nice distraction to keep me relaxed as I ease myself into place. They're like vagary, a vague marathon.
I just such vagues.
we are vague blogging, and we hope you know get it if you know what it is.
We've got
There's
it.
a flutter of something.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I
I know. There's a flutter of pain as my body strains, but it's followed by a sensation intense enough to make my head spin. That's not how that works, but that's okay. I doubt. I seriously doubt.
Are you all right?
Yeah. The warmth settled in me is almost too much to take. I need to sit still for a few moments, willing myself to breathe slowly and stay calm. Is this the PG-13 version? Are you sure? But waiting proves hard. Even before my pulse has stopped ringing in my head, I move to shift against Brattan. He grabs me tight, his arms wrapping around me in a bear hug before his hands drift down, scrabbling from my shoulders to my back to my waist, like they don't know where to settle. Head pressed against my chest, he moves sharply enough to make the couch creak beneath us, and I shudder as I feel his shape. Yeah, hang on. We need to go to options. It says it's off.
This is the...
Oh my god, this is the tame version. Alright, well, hopefully we won't get in trouble. Let's find out. Because this says it's PG-13, and Twitch says it allows PG-13. So hopefully, let's see. My head presses against his chest. He moves sharply enough to make the couch creak beneath us, and I shudder at the feel of his shape shifting inside of me. Our bodies fit together awkwardly at points, but just right at others. It's not perfect, but it does feel right for us. And for one moment, I feel like we're back in our old bodies. Aww.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's very cute.
I like that more.
Like, this is cuddly.
Cuds.
They're very cuddlies.
Cuds.
Also, like, look at the skin on the other side of our face. There's so much texture to it. And the hands, plap. That's adorable. It's very cuddly. Alright. If I close my eyes, I can almost feel the soft carpet of Brattan's fur beneath my fingers, the slight dig of his claws into my back, the leathery pillow of his paw pads dragging down my shoulders. If I focus a little harder as I brush my hands through his hair, I can feel the reflexive twitch of his pointed ears and the excited swish of his tail brushing against my legs. Like Brattan's never changed at all. My body, too, feels properly like my own. I ease myself onto my knees, and my legs don't feel so scrawny and weak, easily sustaining my weight when I shift positions to feel more of his skin against mine. My hands grasp against Brattan's shoulders, no longer faltering from weakness and the lack of claws. I like how they're switching between both, honestly, and they did illustrations for both.
Yeah.
I think that's a good directorial choice. I think it's very thoughtful. And as well as going, like, you can have this experience, both ways, especially if you're familiar with them like this, and that is still part of who they are, even if they don't have those bodies.
Right.
Let's see. My hands grasp against Brattan's shoulders, no longer faltering from weakness or the lack of claws. I feel at ease with myself. You guys are going to love it when you discover what gyms are. And with Brattan, and everything feels the way it should be.
Yes.
Yay.
Excellent.
Whee! His breath, fog hot against the shell of my ear, and I press my lips against his temple. I can feel the ripple of Brattan's muscles beneath his skin, his body pulling taut from the rising tension, and I reflexively wrap my arms around his head, pulling myself closer to him. Our breaths come in tandem. I feel like our pulses match too. It's a Pokemon thing. You are breathing in sync.
God, I do not. Okay, so if you guys haven't played Let's Go Pikachu or any of the Let's Go stuff, like, it's been wildly confusing because I was just like, the advent of your breathing is in sync. Once you start basically I don't know, like coming together with your Pokemon. I'm like,
connecting
better with your Pokemon. I'm just like, goddamn. Like, as somebody who's played Pokemon for a long time, I found that to be one of the weirdest things I've ever had. And I was like, well, I guess everybody in their fanfiction is all happy.
It's okay, Palm's got their own fanfiction going in the chat.
They do. They take that screenshot, Photoshop it. It's fine. You'll be good.
It feels like our pulses match too. His breath fogs. Brattan's voice fights past the curtain of fog, clouding through my thoughts, and it takes me 2 or 3 repetitions to realize he's saying my name. His voice sounds like it used to, gravelly and deep, almost like a growl. Okay, that trope suddenly works so well in this one moment. Everyone going, and they're growling. It's like, yes, but he is the growl.
Yes.
It's edged with an intense focus as he repeats my name again and again. Then once more, as he pulls me terribly close to his body. Terribly close.
That's a Pacific Rim. Yes!
Yes! That's adorable.
How compatible are you?
They are the drift compatible. It's adorable.
Yes.
He grabs me close to him like something precious, like something he's trying to make a part of himself. It's the closest I've ever felt to him, on par with the sensation of when we dove into the hole in the flesh fields together. From that moment on, we'd intertwined our lives, and this feels like a confirmation of that integral bond between us. I hope somebody somewhere explains.
Pokemon trainers should be able to pilot a mecha with their Pokemon.
Yes. Actually, you should. You and your Pokemon super close. They have ultimate trust and affection for you. You pilot the mech together. Perfect.
Brilliant.
I love it.
Awesome.
Can you imagine trying to make a harness to strap in the various different Pokemon? That'd be hilarious.
Like, stop moving, Blob.
It's like mine is a Jigglypuff. They will pilot a mech. And it's like, Jiggly. It's like, it's okay, I have a Ditto. They'll just look like me and pilot the mech together. Hi, I have a Charizard and I feel like they're going to burn everything down.
Yes. That'd be so awkward.
They Pikachu shorted out the mech even though we were both happy. I'm sorry.
Whoops, we broke it. I'm sorry.
Sad. And then you're just like, no, I have a psychic Pokemon. We don't even need the mech. Those monsters are in for it.
They've got it.
Their hive mind at home. Holy shit, psychic ow! Yay! When my thoughts slowly return to coherence, the moment is over. Neither Brattan nor I have been returned to our old selves, of course. Our skin is still soft and sensitive, our bodies still a little more frail than we were used to, our breaths coming a little more shallow than they really should. Yeah, since both of you were athletes, wow.
Yeah.
With my hand resting against Brattan's chest, even very healthy human is asthmatic to them.
Right.
I listen to his pulse thrum away, taking a long time to slow down. His arms are wrapped around me, his hands resting against my back, and I can tell his hands are back to being soft and clawless and tender. I'm also like, I hope someone explains reproduction to these two before it might become an issue depending on things.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on your headcanon. Again, I'm just like, hell, I don't know.
Like I said, it totally depends on how people are bodied and how their bodies worked before, and if either of them are capable of reproduction in one way or another. But just in case, it might be good to know.
Yeah.
Also, we don't know how gender necessarily works there either.
Yeah.
Or sex.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but the observation doesn't disturb me. It's merely that, an observation. I love their one clock. The thing we have figured out for walls is a clock.
A clock.
Mm-hmm. We are the way we are now, and while both of us may long for the past, we've also accepted what we've become now. And once you get comfortable accepting it, you're going to find out there's so many adventures. So many adventures.
There you go.
Brattan's husky whispers, just enough motivation for me to look up. His voice is back to being soft and quiet, lacking in the rasping edge that comes from a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth. Still, a little breathy from the way his chest rises and falls dramatically. Yeah?
I'm so happy to be with you.
Not the adventure you expected, though, huh?
Nope.
It almost goes without saying. Brattan is honest, and his eyes are glowing with genuine contentment.
God,
Yeah, happy boy.
Really suck. What's a refractory period?
Oh, God. Him. This is way more work than it's ever been in my whole life. I don't know. I'll just say it's because you're amazing. That's it. You just wore me right out.
You're brilliant.
He kisses my forehead, the gesture a little sloppy. Then he repeats.
I'm so happy to be with you.
Aww. So much has happened to us. The abyssal hole in the flesh fields, the all-consuming moment of the eclipse, the sudden arrival to the strange city, and the realization that neither of us will ever return to the way we were. And while none of those events were trivial or easy, they were all surmountable because we had each other. I'm sure things will continue to be hard in the future, but that's all right. We'll manage. We have two
So far.
We have so far.
Oh, no.
And we always will.
Oh.
We have too far.
We have too far.
Too far. We're going to the far.
We
went to
yeeted
the
ourselves right off the cliff
far.
edge.
Too far.
Too far.
And we always will. I laugh as I wrap my arms around his neck. My chest feels a little tight. My breath's still short, but I don't want to wait another moment. I lean closer to him as I answer. I'm so happy to be with you too.
Yay!
It's the end.
Yay! It's the end. Woo!
I'm like, I don't know how it PG-13 is apparently, but there we are.
Yeah, no, I was not.
That was a little touch and go. I'm like, I hope that is okay within, like, based on the rating of the game, that is okay with the guidelines of Twitch, but whoo.
Hi, woo! We have success. Whee!
All right, so
all right,
now
guys.
we have
So
to go
get yourself some water.
Right.
Go hydrate. Go get yourself some food. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate having you with us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!